Wow, that was quick, right? Unbelievable. That was very, very fast. I can't believe they zapped us that quickly. We weren't even really into the stream. 6 minutes in and they do it already? That's how stupid is that? So I guess it wasn't my modem. Unreal. But anyway, so there we are. So let's go back right to, again, let me just say quickly, if we have any other problems with the stream, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Just, good old YouTube playing their normal games. I got to tell you what did happen today. So, um, you guys see, like, you see 92,000.7 is what you guys see. But I see what the true number is, right? So today I was at 92,765. And then I was offline. I saw that number at 3 o'clock when I put up my video. So that's where I was at 3 o'clock. I came back on here at 7, and when I got back on at 7, I was down to 92,731. So they took away like 34 subscribers, just like that. I'm like, that's not 34 people decide to just leave. That's YouTube doing that. So it's just part of the game that they play nonstop and constantly. First of all, to hold you back so your numbers don't grow. That's part of what they do. Many of you have told me that yep, they've zapped you guys and they had to resubscribe and stuff like that. But yeah, it's unbelievable. So, but the Epic Times stated YouTube deleted 2.5 million dislikes from Biden's White House videos. That doesn't surprise me. We're going to talk about something about that shortly as well. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Hurricane Rip. Guess we can talk about Florida. Apparently that's thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, who knows whatever the thing is going to be that they're going to be all butthurt about. But going back to what we were talking about, let's go right back into the topic. And I was talking about wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world, what you need to look at is what natural disasters or what potential man-made disasters could happen to where you're at. Like if you live in the coal mine areas up in the hills and you have to deal with that up there, there's a chance you could have some problems. Groundwater contamination. You could also have, those sludge lakes that they have up there with the coal water or what. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but there could be issues with that as well. So those are definitely things you got to pay attention to. If you live, in a flood zone, you need to pay attention to that. So knowing that, like, okay, so if you live in the bottom part of a dam, downriver from a dam, right, and the dam's holding back, you know, trillions of gallons of water, there is a potential down the road that possibly that dam could break at some point and flood you out where you're at. I mean, those are things that you have to 550 million Facebook users information compromised. I did see that as well. I absolutely did see that as well. But you know, so as part of the topic of the video, your game plan. What is your game plan? You have to always pay attention to everything. You have to pay attention to everything. So you have to look at. I mean, I'm going to tell you what. People will say to me, "Oh, well, you live up in the hills on a dead end dirt road and blah blah blah, whatever the case may be." Yeah, and I picked this location very strategically, very very strategically. First of all, if you have a choice, if you're walking, let's say you're walking on the road and the road goes two ways. One road goes this way and it's straight, and if you go up this way on the road, it goes uphill. 9 times out of 10, probably more like 9.5 times out of 10, people are going to take the straight road because they're going to take the path of least resistance. That's what people do, okay? They're not going to go walking uphill on purpose if they don't have to. So again, one of my ways of looking at stuff when I was looking for a property for a bug out location, I wanted high elevation. And I wanted high elevation for another reason. I didn't want to worry about flooding. Down in the valley, down below, they flood out every spring in certain parts. But if there was ever a major rain where we got like a ton of water, the town down there sits in that valley. It sits between the two hills. There's two sides, you know, and you got the valleys down there, and that's where the town is. Well, they'd be in big trouble. Guys, you're gonna have to hold on a second because Mr. Buddy is demanding to go out. So hold on 1 second. All right, I apologize. My work is never done. As a doorman, it never ends. But anyway, so when you're trying to put your game plan together, you have to look at everything. You have to look at your location, what the threat assessment is in your location, the population of where you're at. You have to look at that as well. So those are some of the things that you have to look at. One of the things that I was looking at when we picked this property, I'm going to give you a good example. Okay, the property that I started out with, that I bought down in a town south of me, probably another 20 minutes south. Really liked the location. It was 1.2 miles in from the main road. And even in the wintertime, with all the leaves off the trees, you could not see my property. We had opened it up. We put a 12 by 24 building on it. Then we did an 8 by 8 addition, which we called the shower room on there. And we were working on opening up the hill and making more room up there and stuff like that. But one of the main problems down there that we had was there was no water because we were higher up in the hill. The elevation where we were at down in the valley of there, there was somebody had a well that was 20 feet deep. So they were right there. But if I had tried to dig a well from where I was up there, it would have been like ridiculously expensive. Okay. So when we were looking for another property, I was looking for a property that had a well. Now, here's the great story about this property here. So we get here and the real estate lady says, yes, there is, a well on the property. And I go, well, where is it? Everything was overgrown. You couldn't, if you go back and you look at my early videos, you're going to be like, oh, okay. Everything was overgrown, and there was the shop was here, but there was no evidence of a well. So I'm like, well, where's this freaking well? And she's like, I have no idea, but there's a well on the property. And I was like, okay. So as long as there's a well, I was good with that. So, we found it, and the way we found it is Bill, my bulldozer guy, was clearing out the area where now Mom and Becky's place is. And he was clearing that out a little bit for us, and he ran over the wellhead with his bulldozer. Yeah, so that's how we found the well. So you just never know, But I need to do a grand tour. Yeah, right. It's been a while since I've done that. I absolutely can do that. But yeah, I definitely can show you guys again. I can do a tour of the property and walk it. I've walked it before, but I can definitely do that again. It kind of gives you an idea and stuff like that. So I definitely can do that. Guys, we're already at 650 now here for the second time. In the chat, we're at 184 and a thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. And I thank you for that reason as well. The third reason, of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So it's like a little game. So I do appreciate that. Again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for doing that ahead of time. So any advice? I'm starting a hunting channel soon on YouTube. Well, James, I'll tell you, with that, don't expect to be monetized. That's what I would tell you. The minute you start showing guns and stuff like that on YouTube, they're gonna ding you and ding you and ding you. It's just what they do, Let me see. How can you tell who trolls are? Mary Lapp just said. All right, so here's the thing, and I did want to address this because I saw somebody had mentioned this, and I had talked a little bit about the young lady there, Lee, who had committed suicide. And then I found out how she committed suicide, and I thought it was just she threw herself in front of a train. And I want you to think about how horrific that would be. Just very, very sad. I know she was having a lot of issues with the lockdown and depression issues because of that and not being able to get out and do anything. And again, I'm going to tell you right now, personal opinion, that is all being done by design. Isolate us, make us more depressed, and having issues and stuff like that. I mean, if you look at her videos, before the whole pandemic thing happened, and this girl had been like all over the place. I mean, living this life, being able to travel, and and she had had her boyfriend, and then her and her boyfriend went their separate ways, and it happens. It absolutely happens. But some people could not handle the whole lockdown thing, and the fear and the propaganda and everything else that went along with it, and so they lived in complete fear. But I want to address trolls. So somebody had made a comment of, well, some people, can't take constructive criticism and they call it trolling. Now, there's a big difference. I have never, ever had a problem with constructive criticism. I've had people say to me, just like, okay, great example. Okay. In the greenhouse, I started putting stone down, and somebody said, "Oh, you really should put a barrier down so the weeds don't grow up through the floor." And I thought, you know what? They're right. Okay, they weren't trolling me; they were giving me constructive criticism. That's constructive criticism. Okay, so I took that to heart. I said, you know what? They're right. And the rest of the area that I did, I put down a vapor barrier down so that the weeds didn't grow up through the stone inside the greenhouse. That's, like I said, that's constructive criticism. When you have somebody write you an email, okay, like I received. Actually, if let me see if I can pull that up. I'll actually read you. I'm not going to give the person credit for who they are, but I'm going to read you guys this email, and you tell me if this is constructive criticism or a troll. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So yeah, we're going to do this. Let me find this. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. Now, this is the email I received, and you tell me if this is a troll or if this is constructive criticism. Our only hope is that folks like you, I don't know, do not get vaccinated, die off quickly, and let the real Americans with a brain return to normal life. Go lick a Republican. Ugh. Don't bother to block me. I've had it with your insanity. I listened for your prepping info, but after that, you're just a big, fat, white male who thinks way, way too much of himself. The rest of us are thinking Americans do not. R.I.P. Now, is that a trollish comment or not? Now, this was an email, this wasn't a comment on the channel. This person took the time to write me privately to tell me what a piece of crap I was, that they hope that I died because I don't want to get the, right? So I'm a horrible person because of that. And the real Americans, the rest of them want to, survive, whatever. Okay. Now, that is nothing, to be honest with you. Okay. That is nothing what happens on a regular basis that happens in the comment section that you guys a lot of times may not see because I delete them, or emails that get sent to me. Okay. It's part of YouTube. If you are putting yourself out there, you're going to get hate comments. You're going to get people that hate you. Maybe they don't like the fact that I shaved my head. Oh, I've been called a white supremacist so many times I couldn't even begin to tell you. Okay. So, it is. Oh, and it was a her, by the way. It wasn't a him. So, to hate somebody that much, it makes no sense to me. Okay, it's sad. Realistically, it's very, very sad. But that's what people do. So there's a huge difference between constructive criticism or making, and there's a lot of people that will give advice. well, I think if you did this, or, okay, here's another example. I'll give you another good example. So I've talked about possibly putting some stuff out by the leach field or in the leach field and for growing, right? And people had said in the comments, I really wouldn't do that because you might have problems with the roots getting into the piping and stuff like that. That's constructive criticism. And you know what? They're right. So I take those comments and I appreciate that advice. Okay. Maybe I wasn't thinking all the way through, but somebody gives me that advice. I go, you know what? They're right. I'm probably not going to plant anything out in that area. I'm probably just let that go, and do whatever it's going to do. I have no problem with that. But when somebody, writes me or makes a comment and wishes death upon me or my family or something horrible to my children, which has happened, okay? And I'm going to tell you what, I will put it out here right now, and I will say it right now. If anybody ever comes up to my face and says something negative about my children, we are going to have an issue. Now, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just letting you know. If you have the stones, because I had somebody tell me, well, I got the stones. I'll say whatever to your face you want. Well, good for you. Come and say it. Okay. If you got the stones and you want to say something negative about my children in my face, I don't care what you say about me. Never have, never will. I'm fat. I'm stupid. I'm this. I'm that. It doesn't make any difference to me. I don't care. Because your opinion, those people that say that negative stuff, their opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I will be 100% honest. When I first got into YouTube and started doing YouTube, a lot of the negative stuff it really bothered me. It really, really bothered me. But then when I looked at it and I talked to other YouTubers that were dealing with that type of stuff as well, and they said, it's part of YouTube. Unfortunately, you have to deal with it. You ignore it or whatever, however way you want to do it. Now, I really, really like the block and delete button, and I use them all the time now because I'm just not going to do it. When I did the video, some of you will know what I'm talking about. When I did the video about the death of Lee, and here's the best part. I didn't say what color she was because it didn't make any difference what color she was. She was a human being, okay? I had somebody come in and tried to make it all about race. Well, now you white folks are finding out what it's like, that we've dealt with for blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and I said to this person, I said, why are you making this about race? This has nothing to do with race, but they continued to go, and other people were commenting to them as to this individual as well. And finally, I said, enough is enough. I blocked them and I deleted them, and that's it. When you have an issue like with suicide and somebody taking their life because of whatever the case may be, it's not about race. It's about their mental state. That's what it's about. And to be in that position, I'm going to tell you what, people that commit suicide, it goes against everything in your body because you will try to survive no matter what. That's what we're geared towards. We are geared to survive. That's what we do as human beings. So to go against it, completely against every fiber of your being, and to take your own life, it takes a lot of stones, a lot. Okay. And I couldn't imagine, the state of mind that she had to be in to be there. It's very, very sad in my opinion. And I'm just, giving that. And I'm not going to let some idiot come into the comment section on a video like that and try to make things about race. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So, like I said, it's unfortunate. It happens, and it happens all the time. And I'm going to tell you what, with everything that has gone on this last year, I would love people to figure out what the suicide rate has been in this last year. You have a lot of young kids doing it. Unfortunately, a lot of young kids doing it. And again, bullying online is a cause. And you know what? And this is what makes me sick. And I'll be 100% honest with this. These people that control YouTube, these people that control, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, if it's part of the agenda, if they don't want you to have whatever you're saying out there, they're going to erase it. But they let these scumbags, and that's what they are, harass and bully people, and they do nothing about it. Okay. I have a huge issue with that. because that's not right. Because, there has been, I'm trying to think of the guy. He shut his channel down for like a year. He got the FBI involved in the whole 9 yards, and I'm trying to think of his name. He had a huge channel, Smile More. You know who if you guys know who I'm talking about. Oh God. I mean, they got into his computers and everything. It was like craziness. God, I'm trying to think of that guy's name. I know 7 people in the last year who committed suicide. Yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible. It's unfortunate. How much property do I have? Right now, I have 3 acres. That's what I have at the moment. Oh, God, I'm trying to think of that guy's name. He did a lot of reviews of products and stuff, and he was in New York City, and I can't think of his name. Can you guys, you know what? I hope I got someone. Atwood, Roman Atwood. Yes, you're right. Roman Atwood. Thank you, guys. And now it's all people are popping up again. Roman Atwood. Great channel, huge following, tons of people following. His haters were attacking him so viciously, going after his wife and everything else. And he shut his channel down for a year because of that. And he's a nice guy. He wasn't on here doing anything controversial at all. Doing reviews on stuff, just showing, having a good time, enjoying life. But people get jealous and they get petty, unfortunately. Hey, William Smith, I don't want to hijack the topic because I like when you get intense, but what would you look like in a mullet? I've had a mullet. I have had a mullet in the past. So, yep. Asif just said no race is immune to suicide. Sad. You're right. Exactly. No, I actually have pictures when I was in nursing school. I had a full head of hair then, and I would slick back my hair on the top, and I had a mullet in the back. Yeah, so I definitely had the mullet. Many, many moons ago. But yeah, it's just it's an unfortunate thing. So I have to bring up this topic, okay? Because I saw this today, and I'm just like, okay. Now I am really, really sorry. First of all, let's get this part of it out of the way first, okay? I'm so sad that the last 2 things that happened did not fit the agenda. I am so sad about that. And we're going to talk about what those 2 things are that were all over the news until we found out more information, and now they're gone. Okay? So we had the bang bang up in Colorado, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my God, what's going on and blah blah blah. Now, to this day, I still have not heard what weaponry was used for that, because I don't know if they've ever done that. If somebody could tell me what he used, I would be curious, because if it had been a white dude that did it, okay, and not a Syrian refugee, which so happened that 2 weeks before this, we carpet bombed Syria. Imagine that. What a weird coincidence that, but I'm sure that had nothing to do with it, right? And the fact that he was Muslim, okay, and was ISIS sympathizer, that what we would, oh, no, we're not paying attention to that. We're not paying attention to that, right? No, not that. Then we just had the thing that happened down in the Capitol where a black gentleman, and I hate using the race thing, but I'm going to bring it up for this reason, and I'm going to say why. Rams into the officers, killing one of them. The other one's in a hospital, lunges out with a knife, and then they shoot him and dispatch him, right? Happened to be a follower of Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan. Oh, but he's such a nice person. Oh, that's right. He just wants to kill every white person. Farrakhan wants all the white people dead. But no, that's okay. That's okay. We're not going to talk about that either. What we're going to focus on as the government of the United States of America, what are we going to focus on? What was the big topic? I don't know if you guys saw this today. The big topic that we're going to focus on is extremism in America, because who is the threat? Who is the threat? It's those crazy white supremacists, because they have been going around and burning and looting cities all summer long last year. Oh, wait a minute. No, it wasn't them. It wasn't white supremacists doing that. It was Antifa and it was BLM. But we're not going to focus on that. Heaven forbid. And I cannot believe what a complete idiot Trump was to focus money to combat that, to combat Antifa and to combat the BLM, that he put money into that while they were destroying cities all over the country, right? That's okay. No, but we better worry. We better be afraid of the white people, because the white people, they're the ones, they're the bad ones. Remember that. Bad, bad. If you're white, you're bad. Oh, and I need to feel sorry, and I have to have shame because people that weren't even my ancestors a couple hundred years ago did bad things. So I should feel shame because I'm white. This, guys, I'm telling you right now, is the height of insanity, in my opinion. Now, are there white supremacist groups out there? Yep, sure are. Absolutely. Is the KKK still around? Yep, sure are. Okay. But I'm going to tell you what, I have not seen the KKK. I have not seen the white supremacists out there burning, looting cities, destroying people's property, breaking into businesses, stealing everything that's inside those businesses. I haven't seen that. Now, I've been looking for the dudes in the white hoods and the sheets and running around and cross burning and doing all that type of stuff. I keep looking for it. I'm not seeing it. Okay. Because I guarantee you, if it was happening, those people in the news media that'd be front and center. That would be front and center. We just had 2 young black men burn a human being alive in Rochester, New York. Okay. 2 teenagers, 14, 15 years old, set elderly white man on fire and burned him alive. Are you hearing that all over? Where's the outrage? Where are the white people standing up and screaming, we want justice, this is wrong, we're burning everything down because this happened? Where's that? And I'm going to tell you, here's a little nugget for you guys that I think will be very, very interesting. So everybody knows right now the trial's going on in Minnesota, right? I've paid zero, and now I'm not doing a white supremacist sign. This is a 0 sign. I'm paying 0 attention to it because this guy's screwed no matter what. No matter what. If he is found guilty on lesser charges than the people want, they're going to riot and they're going to burn crap down and they're going to flip out again. Heaven forbid that he gets off. Oh my God. Oh, could you imagine the repercussions of that? Okay. And what'll happen also, if he got off or got a lot lesser charges, what you will see happen is the federal government will pick it up and they'll try to charge him for something else. So he, like I said, now having your knee on somebody's neck for 8 minutes, is that perfectly acceptable? Absolutely not. When the threat is gone, you will stop. When the resistance, I should say, is stopped, you stop. Okay. That's what they should be doing. So I'm not justifying what he did in any way, shape, or form. Now, the other people that were standing out there keeping the crowd back, them being charged as well, I think that's ridiculous. Okay. Because like the Asian gentleman that was in front of the camera, was he watching what Kavanaugh was doing? No, he wasn't watching that. He was watching the crowd because that's what they do. They keep an eye on the crowd. Stay back, stay back, stay back. Okay. Not justifying anything that happened to the guy, but let's put it into perspective. Realistically, he died from fentanyl overdose. Okay. They said the fentanyl in his body was beyond. We are talking about a career criminal. Now, let's put this into perspective here a minute, folks. Again, not justifying what the cop did. Never going to do that. Not justifying that in any way, shape, or form. But if you were not committing a crime, you would have had 0 interaction with the police. If you had gotten into the police car as they were trying to put you into the police car, it would not have gone where it went. Not justifying, and I'm not justifying, but I'm just saying, you have a career criminal, and this is what happens. It's just, it's amazing. It is amazing. Don't break the law. Don't resist. He was being calm. They were bringing him to the police car. They tried to have him get in the police car. Were they beating the crap out of him? No. Okay. When he started resisting there, That's when it accelerated. Now, did it go too far? Absolutely, it went too far. But, you know, there's extenuating circumstances for everything. So, and, but again, let's not talk about that he was a criminal. And, they went, oh, well, he was just trying to pass a counterfeit $20 bill. Still a crime, right? Is that not a crime? And then you have somebody that has a record as long as your arm. We'll talk about that because that doesn't matter. He wasn't coming back from church choir, okay? Hey, Tiger 454. People have forgotten that we are all the same. They want to make everything about race and the majority eat it up. You are 100% correct. And that's the whole thing with that situation. It wasn't about white and black. You had a Hispanic cop, you had a black cop, you had an Asian cop, and you had a white cop. The white cop happened to be the one that had his knee on the guy's neck. He was probably the senior officer on the scene, is my guess, from what I understand. Okay. But, it's these horrible bad cops. All cops are bad. No, they're not all bad. So, again, it's only about race if it fits the narrative too. Let's just remember that. Okay. Because I don't know if you guys remember this one, and I want you to think what would have happened. What would have happened if it had been in reverse? You had a white boy who was not mentally, I don't know if he was retarded or he had some other developmental delays. Okay, was kidnapped by, I think it was four of them. It's 2 girls and 2 guys. I believe it was 4 of them, black kids. And they tortured him, they beat him, they stuck his head in the toilet. They did all kinds of horrific things to him. Videotaping everything, right? Showing it to all their friends. Ha, 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 ha. We're getting Whitey, we're showing him, right? Racism, my friends, is racism. It doesn't matter what color you are. If somebody is targeting you and attacking you and trying to hurt you because of the color of your skin, that's called racism, regardless of who's doing it. All right. And I don't know what ended up ultimately happening in that situation because, of course, the news media didn't follow through with that one. We didn't hear what happened down the road. But if that had been the other way around, oh my God, they'd still be burning down the cities. They would still be burning. And guess what white people did? We didn't destroy anything. It was amazing how that works. Hey, Tiger 454, divide and conquer. That's exactly right. You think about this, and let's think about this for a second. Talking about divide and conquer, it's not just with race, okay? They're not just doing it with race. They also do it with religion, right? Because now who's the big boogeyman now? Anybody that's Muslim, right? Oh my God, they're Al-Qaeda, they're terrorists, they're trying to destroy and take over the country. So they're doing it that way as well, okay? Also, let's not forget about the other way that they're dividing us with politics. Us and them, the right and the left. The left are all crazy. The right are all crazy. You can't make this up. But if you keep us all divided, fighting each other, not focusing on the real problems, nothing is ever going to change. And these a-holes that are in power will continue to be in power, will continue to push their narratives and their whatever they're trying to do and control and everything else. It's never going to change. It's never going to change. And that's sad. And we continue to allow it to happen. We continue to allow it to happen. And, here's the funny thing is whenever so I had said in a previous stream, and this is where I started catching some backlash from some black subscribers on the channel. When I said BLM doesn't care about black people because if they did, they would focus on their own neighborhoods, right? And because the black on black crime is out of control. And I've said that, right? But I can't say that because I'm white. And that's how horrible, and I'm a racist, and I'm terrible for saying that. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. So if you care so much about the black community, and I'm talking about BLM, if you are a member of BLM, why are you not focusing on your own neighborhoods first and stopping that black on black crime? Okay. That's what I would say. So, sad. It's sad the way that the whole world is. And as long as, and the thing is, and if you speak up and if you say anything, then you are a racist. It's amazing how that works. Okay. If I say anything negative about XYZ group, then I'm a racist. I'm a misogynist. If I say, yes, I believe that the flu originated in Wuhan, China, now I'm a xenophobe. You know what? It's insanity. It is insanity. Now, are there people that will take what happens and perpetuate hatred against somebody else? Absolutely, it happens all the time. But who is the root cause of that? When you have weak-minded people, unstable people, people that are depressed or frustrated and angry, okay, the media fans those flames constantly, constantly fans those flames. And they want you guys to be upset and they want you to hate your neighbor because maybe he is a Muslim and this guy is a Christian. You know, I hate him because, you know, he's one of them. Or I hate those Chinese neighbors because it's all their fault that we're in lockdown in this country and stuff like that. It's not their fault. They're probably just as pissed off as you are that we're locked down. You know, it's insane. And it happens all the time. The biggest issue, and I've said this before, and I talked about this as well, the biggest issue that we have in this country is a mental health issue. And this last year has exacerbated that unbelievably so with, you know, people hating each other. Yeah, it will be like Rodney King. Yep. And the LA riots all over again. Yep. How to video said that. Yeah, exactly. If they don't get what they want, meaning the black community, because this is what we're going to focus on, like with that. If he is not convicted with what they want him to be convicted of, it's going to be the LA riots all over again. All over again. And if you guys remember that, a lot of you may not because that was, you know, before you were old enough to realize what was going on. I was watching that on TV. And there was a gentleman who was a truck driver, just happened to be going through that area in his truck, happened to be white, and they pulled him out of that truck and they beat the crap out of him only for one reason and one reason only, because he was white. Now, was that a hate crime? Right? You know, it's sad. It is sad that we got to that point in this country and that we're still at this point in this country. You know, it's just, and they fan the flames. They keep the hatred going. You know, they want us to, like I said, they want us hating each other. And it's so sad. You know, it really is. And that's why I live in the middle of nowhere with few neighbors and I mind my own business and I take care of my stuff and I have peace. So like today, you know, I wasn't online today. I mean, I made my video. I came in, I uploaded the video, and I was right back out doing stuff today. We were busy today. We were busy. So, you know, I wanted to get going on that. You know, we had a good day. Today was a perfect day for it. And so that's what we were doing. Because I know like tomorrow, Mom and Becky are going. They got some stuff to do earlier. And then later I have some stuff to do. So, you know, but, you know, it just, we'll be back at it on Tuesday, banging out more stuff, you know, and that's what I can focus on. That's what I can, you know, when I'm doing that, I don't think about anything else. I don't think about all the insanity in the world and everything else. I just don't, you know, so. Reginald Denny. Yep. Thank you. Yep. That was the truck driver's name, Reginald Denny. You know, yeah. And they beat that man. I don't know how he survived. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how he survived. But, you know, you see it over and over again, you know, but, you know, and then they have every excuse in the world of why they're doing it. I love that too. Here's what I could never understand. I could never understand this. Okay. And I was talking to somebody and I was talking about it up here and it was just like, I'm like, I'm so upset and I'm so mad. I'm going to come over. I'm going to burn your house down. Why would you destroy your own neighborhood? Makes no sense to me. And then you wonder, so here's a good example, okay? So you burn down, you destroy everything in your neighborhood, you loot the stores, and then the chain, let's say CVS, we'll use CVS. I don't know, you know, I'm just using them as an example. So CVS says, we're not rebuilding in that neighborhood. No, we're going to go farther out. So now to get your medications that you need. You got to hop on the bus. You got to travel all the way across town to someplace else to go to that CVS. And you go, well, how come I have to do that? Well, because you've already destroyed your own neighborhoods. And people don't want to put money back into that neighborhood because you may do it again. 454 Tiger Ed, we are full planting season here. Babying, hold on a second. Babying our stats and planting my potatoes, onions, and other cool weather. Tomorrow, how's yours coming? Actually, we did. I was checking on stuff today. We got to transplant some stuff in the greenhouse, but we were, like I said, today was focusing outside. But we're going to be doing some transplanting. Thank you very much for the donation too, as well. I do appreciate that. We're going to be transplanting some stuff inside the greenhouse very soon. The new blueberry bushes and the raspberry bushes and stuff, that's all going to get planted outside as well. BLM in London destroyed cities. That's K. Patrice Horton just said that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, let BLM and Antifa open stores in in the areas. It's just people, and then they wonder why. They wonder why all the big chain grocery stores get out of cities, in stuff like that. Well, a great example is something here in New York. Okay, I'll give Rochester, New York, as an example. So malls are on the way out anyway now. People aren't doing malls anymore because everybody can basically go online and shop online, and because of the virus, it's really just killed the traffic in the malls. But we had three malls in the area, and then one Eastview, which was way out. And here's the difference between Eastview, which is a beautiful mall, and the other malls. Eastview Mall is not on a bus line, so you better have a car if you want to go out to Eastview Mall, okay? But we had Grease Ridge Mall, we had Irondequoit Mall, and then there's the mall in Henrietta, Marketplace Mall, okay? Well, Irondequoit Mall was more closer to the city, and Grease Ridge was farther out in the town of Grease. And Grease Ridge Mall was a really decent mall for a long, long time. Irondequoit Mall eventually shut the entire mall down because of the thefts and the crime. People stopped going there because, there was purse snatches. People were being robbed in a parking lot. The crime was ridiculous. Okay. So they shut the whole mall down, just emptied it out, shut it down. And last I knew, it was still sitting there empty. Waste of space, unbelievable waste of space. Okay. Now, Grease Ridge Mall has progressively gotten worse, where the point is that they had to up security unbelievable because all the people that were stealing from Irondequoit Mall now came over to Grease, okay? Marketplace Mall is pretty much, a lot of it shut down now, and that's more due to everything that's gone on in the last year because people just aren't going to the mall anymore. I mean, they just don't. So, and that's what happens. So now you got to up security. You get people that don't want to go and have to deal with stuff. So it's very, very sad, to be honest with you. Really quickly, guys, I want to mention the sale that's going on right now on my website. It's ending in a couple of days. The Legacy freeze-dried food sale. So if you go to preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it drops down. You'll see store. You click on that. It says Legacy Foods. Go there. What we have available is there. If you decide to make an order, when you check out, 20% will come off your purchase. That is the sale we're doing. It's a 20% off sale. So definitely take advantage of that. And definitely, that you can save yourself 20%. GMO free, 25 year shelf life, largest portion size of any other freeze-dried food companies. Also, it is gluten free. Well, they have gluten free options. It's vegan. There are meat options available with beef and chicken as well. Okay. So definitely take advantage of that if you want. There's just a couple more days left in the sale. That ends on the 7th. So 3 more days to go. Okay. Also on my website, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. Definitely take advantage of that as well. If you decide to go to my website, preppernurse1.com. You'll see their logo, Forefathers. If you click on that, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase, you make sure when you check out, use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and it's the number 1, and you'll save yourself 15% over there. So just putting that out there as well, okay? Yes, we'll do eggs. Okay, we'll get to eggs right now. Um, Before we do eggs, I'm going to ask for more thumbs up. We're at 461. We got 1,100 people in the chat. We're 461 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. And it really does also help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, it's better for the channel that way as well. Just pushes us up higher in the rankings. So I would ask you to shoot that thumbs up for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. It's just a little game. It's just fun. And so that's why I like it as well. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so let us see what we got here. All right, if you have the same guess as ADK Man, same guess as ADK Man with 9 eggs, that's what we ended up having today. We ended up having 9 eggs. So not bad. Like I said, nice and steady. Never going to complain about that. They're laying great and no issues whatsoever. So I'll take it all day long, you know. But yeah, so they're doing good, and no problems with the chickens at all. I check on the babies a couple times a day out there, and then obviously my ones in the house still, I check on them too, and everybody's doing good. But I got to get back to the store. Tractor Supply, I'm gonna have to hit them in the morning. I need more feed for these little piglets that I call chickens. They're eating it like you would not believe. Hey, Jane Delaney. 2020 was one of the deadliest years for law enforcement, with 264 killed in the line of duty. This includes federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial. And thank you very much for saying that. Let's address that for a second. And thank you so much for talking about that. And thank you for the donation as well. The anti-police thing, where people have walked up to cars and killed police in their cars and those type of things just because they were a cop. This is ridiculous. And the fact that they haven't stomped this kind of nonsense out is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you what, and I talked to last fall, I had stopped up to the motorcycle place, and I walked up, there was a state trooper there, and I walked up to his car, and I kind of like making him sure he knows that, he's got no threat from me. And so I walked up to the car, and I said, listen, I said, I want you to know that there's a lot of us out here that appreciate what you guys do. And he said, you know what, thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that. And I shook the guy's hand. You know what? He's just a dude doing a job. That's what he's doing. And what he basically was telling me, they're walking around on eggshells now. They're like so careful. They have to be so careful because anything that is perceived wrong, I mean, everything gets blown out of proportion. Now, don't get me wrong. They deal with so much negativity and that type of stuff constantly. It's sad, really, really sad, and it happens all the time, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? I mean, it's like, I could never be a cop. I could never be a cop because I probably would have been suspended a long time ago. Because I just certain stuff I don't go for. I have no tolerance for men that beat up on women. And I cannot stand pedophiles. So I couldn't deal with that part of that job. I couldn't deal with that. And people that beat up on their kids and stuff like that too. Yeah, I just no. They would have to have an attitude readjustment, in my opinion. So, but that's just me. So that's probably best that I'm not a cop. Hey, I just ordered 10 Rhode Island Red female from Tractor Supply. Thanks for the advice. Big Bear Preps just said that. Cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, my 5 that I have in the house right now, they're doing great. And I'll show you, when we get the transfer of the ones that are out in there to the other side, and then I take these guys out and put them out there as well. That'll be cool. So yeah, but that's awesome that you got those. And yeah, enjoy. I'm going to tell you what, I love my chickens. They are the most vicious little monsters with each other. If there is a weakness, they will kill that chicken in a heartbeat. And that's what they do, unfortunately, So, hey, brother, finally got to buy chicken. Super excited. Heroic Prepper just said that. That's cool. I'm going to tell you what. Having chickens, again, it's like hedging your bet. Okay? And like people say, well, why do you got to have a rooster? I have a rooster because if SHTF happens tomorrow, I have fertilized eggs. I can make as many more chickens as I want with my incubators. So, that, and tell me what kind of commodity that would be. That would be a huge commodity for people to be able to actually have eggs and stuff like that. And plus the fact that I have eggs, that's another barter item in an SHTF event. Obviously, in an SHTF event, I'm not giving my eggs away. Sorry, that's just the way it's going to be at that point in time. That's food for the people that are in my group and stuff like that. But it's also, again, a great barter item at that point. So, they're great food too, high protein, a little cholesterol there with the yolk, but that happens. But and I, like I said, for me, I enjoy my chickens. I definitely enjoy my chickens. So it's a lot of fun. So I want to get back to, I mean, we've got like way off a topic here. Okay, way off a topic. But you know, having a plan, figuring out the threat assessments and where you're at. Like if you live in the city, there's a ton of excuse me. There's a ton of threat assessments living in a city. You put yourself in a very, very dangerous position, and you know that. I'm not saying anything you don't know. Hey, James White, UST watch Biden trip up the stairs to Air Force One again. Happy Zombie Jeebus Day. Yeah, it's he did it again, huh? That's funny. But yeah, but he's the leader of the free world. Scary thought there, isn't it? Very scary thought. But cholesterol, nothing wrong. Have been lied to for years. Well, like I said, I've always eaten eggs. So when I was heavy duty into hardcore training back when I was younger, I would take 6 eggs at a time, separate the yolks from the white. I'd toss the yolks, or I would give them to the cats, is what I would do. And the egg white, I'd have a glass, just a full glass of egg whites, and I would just drink it on down. And people would be like, "Oh my God, how do you do that?" And I would just drink it down. Not a big deal. So, but that was nothing but pure protein, which is great if you're training. If you're working out, that is, and then of course I'd always hear the things about salmonella and everything else. Never had an issue with any of that. So. Okay. North Shore Preparedness just said, Ed, will there be a meetup at Letchworth this year? I am hoping that we're going to do that, but I am also going to put this out here, and I definitely want people to contact me about this. Okay. I am going to Sturgis this year. Absolutely 100% going to Sturgis this year. Any of you that ride, and I don't care what you ride, you don't have to have a Harley. So I don't want you to think, oh, if I don't have a Harley, you're not riding with me. Whatever you're riding, I don't care. If you would like to meet up with me along the way to Sturgis, okay, I'll let people know what my route is going to be, which way we're going to go. If they're no egg from Thick Neck today. Nope, she did not lay today. But if anybody would like to meet up, we can all go to Sturgis and we can hang out and we can have like a prepper get together with like-minded people at Sturgis as well. And I think that would be very, very cool. And then getting to ride and doing that together, I think would be a really, really cool thing. So any of you out there that ride, that live between here and Sturgis, please get in contact with me. We're trying, I'm definitely going. I'm already meeting up with some people. I got some people that I'm riding out with already. I would love to be able to do that. You have a moped. I don't know if you'll be able to keep up there, Machiavelli Customs. Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to keep up on a moped. You'd be way, way, way behind. So, but yeah, so that's what we're gonna do too as well. So, but I think that is August. So, if I can do the prepper get together at Letchworth State Park this year, I absolutely do plan on doing that. But I am definitely going out to Sturgis this year. I've had so many people talk about riding in the Black Hills and stuff like that, and I absolutely want to do that. So I'm definitely going to do that this year. So a prepper get together should be a thing. I'm down for that, but I'm in California. Yeah, it's a bit of a drive. I ride my minivan in Norway. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Viking prepper. How many days do you plan to get together? Well, to go to Sturgis is like a week-long thing. So I don't know exactly, what we're going to do yet, how long we're going to stay. They have campgrounds and stuff like that. We got to get things set up ahead of time, obviously. So we do have enough time for that. And Ed, liberal author Naomi Wolf warns vaccine passports are the end of human liberty in the West. Wow. And that's coming from a liberal, too. That's how two videos just said that. Thank you for that information. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's that's definitely up. Letchworth is the Grand Canyon of the East. Yep, it's a beautiful, beautiful park. If you've never been there, it's gorgeous to come down. Full foliage coming down in the fall. If you guys ever get a chance to get down to Letchworth in the fall, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just a wonderful place to be at. So, really, really nice area. But yeah, so hopefully we're going to do the prepper get together this year. I got to see if they're going to allow gatherings at the park. If they're not going to do that, I'm going to see if I could possibly do an alternative site somewhere where, we could go someplace and somebody, that owns some property will let us set something up and we can do a get together there. We're going to see what happens. So, we're going to see what happens, but it'll be fun. No matter what, it's going to be fun. If we can do it. We did the one 2 years ago and it was a blast. The people that came, we all just had just a great time. It was a great gathering of brotherhood and sisterhood, like-minded people and all that. It was absolutely awesome. So a liberal said that maybe there's hope after all. See, and there's part of the problem again, guys, with that whole division thing. And I get it. And I understand where people are coming from because I look at the way a lot of liberal-minded people are thinking, especially the extreme ones. And I just go, what is wrong with these people? Okay. But that's what they want. They want us to be divided. They want us to hate each other and all that type of stuff. So, I'm going to tell you what, like I've said to you guys before, okay, I have some liberal views and I have some very conservative views. And so, I think for myself. So I don't consider am I more right leaning? Yes. I mean, there's no doubt anybody that's watched this channel knows I lean strongly right. Okay. But I do have some liberal views as well, so it's just, but unfortunately, people can't come together for whatever reason. And, with everything that's going on, it's sad. It's really, really sad. And we can't find that common ground. And, whatever happened to agreeing to disagree? Okay. You believe this, great. Don't do that. And I believe differently, so I will do that. Okay. It's simple. Live your life, be happy. I'll live my life and I'll be happy, or try to be anyway. So, Ed, Netherlands latest to halt AstraZeneca jab. The Australia admits likely blood clot link. Well, not according to what they're saying. I'm not going to go against what the recommendations are because I don't want another strike on YouTube. But yeah, does it surprise me? No. Wasn't Antifa trying to crash Sturgis last year and that failed miserably too? Yeah, I think like 7 of them showed up and then like one of them like kicked a bike, which let me just anybody out there, if you see somebody's bike, leave their bike alone. Bikers don't like other people screwing with their bikes. Just leave their bikes alone. It's just, that's and so yeah, before the crowd could get at the guy, the police arrested him. So, but yeah, it's just yeah, it's unfortunate. Notice that my Democratic family and friends are all getting the jab and bragging about it. Trump in, and they would not get it, no doubt. Oh yeah, if he'd have been in, they probably would say no. Yeah, you're right. I know. It's just like again, as I've said before, individual choice. You do what you want to do. I share information with people. Oh, I definitely will do some videos at Sturgis. Absolutely. Billy the Kid Norwood said, I'd please do some film videos of you at Sturgis. I will absolutely do that. I will absolutely do that. That'll be, no, I can't wait to go. I think it's going to be a blast. Absolutely going to be a blast. It's one of those things, if you ride, you want to do. Like Daytona is another one. I have never been down to Daytona and to Bike Week, and I think that would be fun as well. But, but yeah. You touch my bike, I break your face. Normand Prepper one said that. Yeah, I understand. I get it. Yeah, that's my thing. Don't mess with my bike. Don't touch it. You know. Yeah, BLM, Biker Lives Matter. That's right. That's absolutely right. I saw a shirt that said that too, and I thought that that was funny. But you know, I want to. Well, I know that we're like almost out of time, of course, because that's what happens. But again, I want to talk about really quickly having a game plan, figuring out what you're going to do, knowing what you're going to do. When the time comes and SHTF happens, guys, it is going to be just an absolute nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And, you better have a game plan set up. You better know what you're going to do. The people that you care about better know what they're going to need to do, how to get there, having maps. Unfortunately, being able to read a map is a lost art for a lot of people nowadays. So, you know, uh, yeah, right. Bad man Trump. He's to blame for everything. Yeah, exactly. And they still blame him for everything, which is amazing. I don't know. I find it interesting. People are a trip. Yeah, it's going to be, it's an interesting thing going on. Interesting stuff happening around the world. Very, very interesting. And I think it's going to come to a head. I think it's going to get to a point and it's just going to come to a head and people are just going to be like, enough is enough. And that's going to, when that happens, when people finally say enough is enough, um, you know, not good, not good. So, but I have Miss Pandora's right here. I have no cats in here right now. I just have Miss Pandora's here. Hella's down over here sleeping and Caesar's over there. So, but yeah, so right now there's no cats in it. It's really nice out though, really mild tonight. So I think that's probably why they're out and about doing their things. Let's see. My daughter was in the hospital due to low sugar, and they gave her the vaccine without her permission. So be careful, everyone. Make sure someone is there to speak for you if you can't. Wow, that's not cool. Yeah, that's not cool at all. Well, I know that there was somebody that I just saw that I talked with that they were having a surgery, and the doctor had said that he would not do the surgery on this person until they had it. So think about that. Uh, you know, so I'm excited about the blueberry trees, Ed. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what. When the blueberries come in, blueberry pancakes and all that type of stuff, that's. And I'm gonna tell you what. There's a big, big difference between picking the blueberries off your bush and eating them that way, and eating the ones in the store. Totally different taste to them. I don't know why. It's the same thing with the eggs. Same thing with the eggs. The eggs taste so much different um, when you have them regularly. That you get them from your farm as opposed to getting them in the store. It's like night and day for whatever reason. Even the color of the yolk. The yolk is a much richer color, more vibrant when you have homemade eggs. So, yeah, but do you have blueberries? Must have sugar out of the fruit. Do you know the blueberry? Oh, hold on a second. I want to read what they said there. Hold on. I missed that. Did you know blueberries have the most sugar out of the fruit? I did not know that. Well, that's probably why I like them. I like sugar. I'm an addict. uh, I've had fresh eggs. Not a fan. The yolk was too weird. Yeah, because you're used to store bought, and store bought is crap. And those poor chickens, that what they go through with store bought eggs, they just look like crap. Store bought eggs are old. Oh, that's probably a good reason too. Asa says missing ingredient TLC, tender loving care. Yeah, you know what? And I think it's a big difference on how you raise your animals. It really is. If you give them attention and you care for them and you give them love and you give them a good environment to live in, safe environment where they're not, constantly stressed and, doing what they do. Definitely better for the chickens. Absolutely. And like I said, I enjoy them too. So my ex-girlfriend's sister was married to the biggest blueberry farmer here in New Jersey. Every season we get tons. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. But now he's not, because you said was married. Oh, your ex-girlfriend. So now you don't get him anymore. So now her and her new boyfriend get all the blueberries. Just busting your chops. So yeah, stressed animals, bad food. Exactly. That's why a lot of times with animals, they try to keep them calm before they put them down. So, but again, going back again really quickly, have a plan, figure out what you want to do, get things organized. It's so important to do that now. I like the position that I'm in, I'll be honest with you, but it's taken us years to get to where we're at. And we're still working on stuff. And you know what? 5 years from now, if everything hasn't gone to complete garbage by then, we'll still be working on other projects. That's just the way it's going to be. It's always going to be the next project and the next thing that I want to do. And I'll tweak stuff and I'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. And, like with the greenhouse and, and stuff like that, we'll hone it down and we'll figure out what's going to work there. And we'll continue to go on and continue to work on stuff. And I'll share it. And hopefully that helps other people. And they can say, okay, yeah, well, Prep Nurse 1 did this and it worked. And so we're going to try that, and that's all. It's experimentation. It's experimentation and figuring out what works and what doesn't work before a true SHTF event happens. That's the smartest way to do it. Get your skills down, learn how to do things. I absolutely encourage you to do that. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to ask for a thumbs up again. We're at 617. We still got over 1,000 people in the chat. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the more thumbs up we have, the better it is as well. So thank you for that as well. Ed, can you ballpark the total cost to get a place like yours? Janie W. Buying the land, 3 acres of land with a well on it. It had one outbuilding and a couple of crappy campers that were on here that I got rid of as soon as we bought the place. It was, what did we pay? 12, I think 12,000, I think, for the property. Okay. And then I couldn't even tell you how much money I've put into the property. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I couldn't even tell you. It's that much. But here's the thing with that though. Okay. June will start my 7th year here full time. We didn't do this overnight. This didn't happen, bam, and it was done. It's been very methodical and very steady. And as I've had the money, we've done things. So that, don't get discouraged from that. If you buy a piece of property, even if you buy it on payments, it's a start. You start. It's doing something as opposed to doing nothing. And there's the biggest thing. Doing something as opposed to doing nothing. So, that's what I would encourage everybody to do. Just work methodically at things, make it happen. Again, that's part of the whole STD, mindset, So anyway, we are Legion. We are a huge family. We're all over the place. We're all over the world. Yeah, Billy the Kid Norwood, 20K plus just for the solar system and the batteries. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yep. Just in batteries alone, over 7,000 just in batteries, so, and like I said, it's just, it is what it is. Hey, Math, Music, and Life, $500 to $700 an acre in northern Michigan. Oh, wow. Okay. That's not, get into the upper UP up there. Yep. I know that there's some great isolated land up in that area. Who was it that, oh gosh, I can't think of her channel. Bush Radical is her husband, and he has his channel, and I can't think of her channel. Yeah, you guys know who I'm talking about? I can't think of her channel's name, but they bought some property up in that area, and they're working on stuff. God, I can't think of her name. I'm waiting for somebody to throw it up here for me. Girl in the Woods. Yep. Thank you very much. I knew somebody would know exactly what I was talking about. Girl in the Woods. Awesome channel as well. Bush Radical is her husband. Very, very cool to watch both of them as well. So there's some other people I want to recommend, right? So a couple other good channels, and they just a real super positive attitude. They get out there and they bust their butts, and she is amazing. He's very, very lucky to have a wife like that because she is a hardworking girl. Really, really is. So anyway, we are Legion. We are many. Where is everybody from tonight? Sorry, I got off track once again, but that happens. But yeah, I like her channel. Really, really like her channel. So I definitely recommend Girl in the Woods. Again, tell her Prepper Nurse One sent you over. We have Denton, North Carolina, Fort Myers, Florida, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, Southwest Florida, Montreal, Canada, BC, Canada, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Afton, New York, Austin, Texas, New Zealand, Daytona Beach, Syracuse, New York, Vermont, Colorado, Central Wisconsin, Western North Carolina, Wisconsin again, Oklahoma, Kansas, Southwest Ontario, Canada, Angola, Indiana, Central Missouri, let's see, South Carolina, Carroll, Iowa, Mississippi, Endicott, New York, Costa Rica, Bushnell, Florida, the real New Jersey Shore, Seal, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, love Nashville. Let's see, Beech Grove, Indiana, Hudson Valley, New York, Coxville, Tennessee. If I said that wrong, I apologize. Nova Scotia, Troy, North Carolina, Cave Creek, Arizona, Eastern Sunny, Oregon, Ohio, Victoria, Texas. Let's see, North Carolina, hidden in the mountains, very nice. Northern Ireland, very cool. New Jersey, Southwest North Carolina, Central Pennsylvania. We have Brazil, Chattanooga, Tennessee, North Wellington County, Ontario, very nice. We have Alaska, very cool. Paris, Texas, Kingsport, Tennessee. Let's see, Ulster Park, New York, Alaska, Hudson, Florida, Southern Kentucky, Hillsboro, Oregon, Paris, Texas, Kentucky, South Australia, very nice. Dallastown, Pennsylvania, Lansing, Michigan, Middletown, Pennsylvania. We have Cape Cod, Arkansas, Moscow, Russia, if that's true, very cool. Let's see. Northern New Hampshire. Let's see, North Georgia, Norway, very cool. West Virginia. Again, guys, we are all over the world. We're all over this country. We're a huge network of people, a huge family. We really are. And I think some people do lose sight of that and they forget that we are a family. And it's just like if we organize, which we're trying to do, still working on getting back to people. And if I haven't gotten back to you yet, I do apologize. Yeah, Brooke is her name. Yep, Brooke is the name from the Girl in the Woods. Again, unbelievably awesome, hard-working young lady. And like I said, her husband's very cool as well. And so, yeah, they definitely are definitely cool to watch. I've watched a lot of their stuff. And they're working on their property up there in the UP of Michigan, where they bought property down there. I think they've been in Alaska before. I mean, they're very, very cool. But there are still places out there that you can get that are very isolated if that's what you're looking for. Okay. Again, it's totally up to you. So, but there's definitely cool places to be still. But water's going to be key. You got to have a water source, and so. Yeah, there's another. Okay, so North Shore Preparedness just said Sean James, awesome channel. Yep, he is unbelievable as well. Love his stuff. He's full-time now at the new property. I believe they probably sold the other property now, and he's been working on the cabin site now. So that's going to be very, very cool to watch. He's an unbelievably hardworking man too. Unbelievably hardworking man. I cannot forget my friend Icky Can up in Canada as well. ICKYCAN. Please subscribe to him. Show him some support as well. He's got a smaller channel. But when he gets building again this year, and he's going to be doing some building this year, definitely worth the watch. Nice guy. Also, Bizarrizza Jizza. If you guys would throw the links up there as well. He's got a very, very cool channel doing some series on the EMP and everything like that. definitely pay attention to those as well. Very cool, you know. Other video, I thought you were going to say Heather's getting married. No, no, Heather's going to focus on college. I actually have told her, I told her to, you know, recently, you know, she got a nice, steady boyfriend, a very nice young man. I said, you don't get married until you're done with school. I said, and I'm going to tell you what, this is the advice that I give my daughter. And anybody out there that has a daughter, I hope you would give them the same advice. And this is what I tell my daughter. Rely on no man to support you. Support yourself. Be able to support yourself. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're stuck or you feel like you're stuck. I told her, you finish, you get your education, you have your own career. He can have his career. That's great. And that's awesome. Okay. But you always put yourself in a position where you can support yourself and you can be independent if you have to be. It's nice to have somebody that loves you, and it's awesome, and that's great. But if you don't have that, you know, things don't always work out, and you better be able to have a way to support yourself. So I think that that's really important. And so that's what I tell her. I tell her that all the time. So I've been driving that into her since she was little. Make sure you can take care of yourself. So she's got a lot of me in her, so I think she'll be just fine. So also, you guys know I love Marfugal News out on the West Coast. So definitely show him some support as well. Go over there to Adam. Again, tell him Prepper Nurse One sent you. And I was a single parent, and it was tough if you have no skills. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, like I said, sometimes things don't work out. And so, you know, if you got, like my mom did waitressing for years and years and years. That's how she supported us when we were growing up. And so, you know, we did what we had to do, but she worked her butt off. She worked hard, and you know, she could have dumped us off someplace and not taken care of us, but she didn't do that, you know? So, and I respect that, always have. So at all great and clean stream tonight. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Maybe the trollish ones are getting the hint that this is not the place to be. So that would be a good thing. Again, guys, I want to thank my moderators who absolutely do a fantastic job. Of course, we're going over the time, but that happens. You know, what are you going to do? Again, you know, thank you for being here stream after stream and supporting the channel. I do appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. And again, it keeps the chat clean, and that's what I want. And so I can't do everything and try to do that. I have a hard enough time just trying to answer you guys' questions on here. So, but anyway, I also want to thank everybody for being here. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for supporting the channel and being here. We have great chats, and it's enjoyable. And I think it's awesome. So thank you for that as well. Remember, guys, we are really, truly all in this together. And that's what people really need to start thinking about and focusing on. Stop letting them divide us. Stop with the religion and race and politics. Stop letting them separate us and putting us in different camps and fighting against each other, okay? We're all human beings. We all bleed red. So when the time comes, we got to try to help each other as much as we can. It's not like I'm going to sit at the end of my thing here, end of my road, and say I'm only helping conservatives and not liberals. It's not how it's going to be. If you're a human being and you need help, I'm going to try to help you. That's just the way it is, okay? Also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, truly important. We tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. And last but not least, my favorite STD. And again, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will be having STD tattooed on my body. And I will do it, and I'll probably videotape it because I gotta put it on why they do it. I gotta videotape it. So, but yes, I will have STD tattooed on my body. Step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you work methodically at it, it comes together and it'll get done. It just takes hard work and effort. That's all it takes. So if you work hard, things come together and they happen. You know, and that's what we're doing here. We work methodically. We're not pushing a time clock, which is great, which is just like it's the biggest blessing in the world because there's no rush. We don't have to, oh my God, we got to get this done by the end of the week. No, we don't. We get it done when we get it done. But if we work at it and we see that progress, and you see that progress every day, it really motivates you to keep going and make more progress. And that's what's awesome. Okay. So, anyway, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. I hope the kids enjoyed the candy, and I hope everybody had great day. Okay. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.